Oh man, so exciting.
Mokwetsi, Zimbabwe.
Thank you so much. You motivated me.
Go, John. Go get him. Yeah.
My 15 minutes of fame. Loving it, I'm loving it. Feel like a celebrity, eh? Matches with the dreadlocks and everything. Exciting stuff. Okay. So the first thing that I did today when I woke up is to look at my phone, and I'm appalled that someone is telling me that the next episode of Game of the Thrones has been leaked. Can you believe it? And then there is President Trump and his firing of the White House people. And then there is North Korea ballistic missiles pointing to the United States, and the United States says it's a threat to the whole world. So what does that tell you? That the narrative that I had when I woke up was the narrative not of Africa, but the narrative of a continent that is not mine. It's appalling. Yet, we have the power, because there's a digital renaissance that is happening in Africa. The first thing you do, and I know and you can't deny it, is that you look at your mobile phone first before you do anything else. That's power. That's power to inform, okay? But the discourse is never about Africa, okay? And my friend from Kenya was telling me that someone who is in charge of the Electoral Commission, the biometric system, was killed recently. But that is not a discourse that is happening on Twitter and Facebook. But there's Game of Thrones. And for God's sake, I was looking for Kim Kardashian's photos, and they're not looking at the pace that I love. It's amazing, okay? But the story was not even about the fact that Cape Verde is a West African country. I didn't even know that. That they've got a national park on that small island called Fogo National. Can you believe it? Huh? And no one is even talking about President Robert Mugabe and the family dynasty that he has now, because he really needs his family to be ruling the country forever. And we don't have that discourse. But you guys, but you know that the episode of Game of Thrones was leaked. I'm appalled. But yeah, I mean, why did they leak that anyway? Anyway. Look, the internet is a powerful tool where we're coming from, okay? In 2005, only 2% of us were connected. Now it's 28%, okay? 2020, we have 700 million mobile phones, and a population of 1.2 billion. That's phenomenal. No one is growing at that pace at all. But even though we're celebrating all these statistics, if I ask you who is going to be providing the smartphone in 2020 for us, Samsung is already positioning themselves. Apple already positioning themselves. Where are the Nigerians to come up with this innovation? Where are our own mobile phones? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's so saddening, okay? So we need to be coming up with those products. Okay, and then we have two extremes in Africa. We're growing, right? It's a paradox, yet we're shrinking. Because we have two extremes. We have all these people who are connected to the mobile phone because they're educated enough to know how to use WhatsApp. And then we're leaving the rural communities with social media illiteracy that is threatening a conversation that is supposed to happen. Because I am so tired of conversations about how we live in a jungle and stuff. Do you know how beautiful our rural areas are? Yeah. The valleys. Yeah? Yeah? But we are to blame because we are not leading the narrative, okay? No one is sharing that video before they share the Game of Thrones and argue over who is going to take the 7 kingdoms. This is what is appalling, okay? Because we need to be telling the African story. The African story is a beautiful story. Yes, we have Robert Mugabe there and we have President there, that's okay, but we have such the flora and fauna so beautiful, Africa. It's a conversation that we must have. And it's a conversation that we must lead, okay? We can't Google about it, and then you get the Western stories that coming, the first 10 results. We need to be generating that conversation. We need to be telling our stories because Africa has got a beautiful story and we are beautiful people. Thank you.